Now to the Middle East, where we're learning more about a hostage rescue operation in Gaza. The Israeli military reports they freed 52-year-old Qaid Farhan al-Hadi while searching underground tunnels. Members of special forces came upon a room 25 feet below the surface in southern Gaza. Al-Hadi is the 8th hostage to be rescued by Israeli forces since the start of the war. 100 hostages remain in Gaza, at least 30 of whom Israeli authorities presume to be dead. Al-Hadi is in stable condition at an Israeli hospital. And as we reported Monday, the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestinian Refugees, or UNRWA, claims Israeli evacuation orders have disrupted distribution of more than 1 million oral doses of the polio vaccine in Gaza. UNICEF says the first case of the virus there in 25 years was confirmed in a 10-month-old girl last week. The World Health Organization reports 99% of Gazans were vaccinated for polio prior to the war. Now only 86% of residents have been inoculated. CBS News foreign correspondent Imtiaz Tyab has more from Tel Aviv. Imtiaz?
Well, John, the rescue by Israeli forces of Mr. al-Hadi is being described here in Israel as nothing short of miraculous. But as we find out more, it's starting to look like it was something of an accident. We understand that Israeli soldiers were in a Hamas tunnel, combing through it, looking for clues, looking for Hamas fighters, and they came upon a room in which they found Mr. al-Hadi. Now, there were no Hamas guards there, and he was by himself, but this room was around 25 yards below the surface. Now, we understand that he was taken to the surface, for lack of a better phrase, where he was then put onto an Israeli military helicopter and taken to hospital. Now, we traveled to that hospital in Beersheba, which is one of the main cities in southern Israel, where we spoke to one of his sons, where we asked him how his father was doing after 11 months, or nearly 11 months in Hamas custody. And he said, by the grace of God, that his father was doing fine. We have seen some images of him in hospital, of al-Hadi saying that he has lost some weight but is doing fine. But of course, this is hugely important news in Israel, where so many families and so many Israelis are gripped by the plight of hostage families. But this, of course, comes at a time when negotiations are underway in Cairo, and there's just been no major breakthrough yet. And many are pressuring Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to agree to a deal with Hamas, which would see a ceasefire in Gaza and hostages released. But that deal has still not happened. John.
Imtiaz Tyab in Tel Aviv for us. Thank you very much, Imtiaz. For more on this, let's bring in Tjada D'Oyen McKenna. She is the CEO of Mercy Corps, a humanitarian organization providing aid to civilians in Gaza. Thank you so much for being with us. Tjada, before we get to the specific issue of polio, can you just give us a brief overview of the humanitarian situation in Gaza?
The humanitarian situation in Gaza is dire, and it just continues to deteriorate. You have a population that has basically been without access to clean water, food, supplies, and for months, for almost a year now, extremely hot weather, a population that's been forced to move with their families several times over the past few months. There was just another evacuation order issued for places that they had been safely just over the weekend. And on top of that, even the zones that have been designated safe zones are continually bombed. We've seen bombings in hospitals and schools. But more importantly, it's been virtually impossible for humanitarian aid to get into Gaza for months, from security constraints to access to holdups at the border. It has been a dire situation, just an open sewage situation with lack of food, and a population that has been really depleted by this.
And so given that chaos, is it any surprise to you that there have been these polio numbers that have been reported?
No, it's not surprising at all. Polio is a highly contagious disease that is spread through mostly contaminated food and water. And the conditions in Gaza could not be more right for this. It's open sewage conditions everywhere. People are sleeping in tents outside in scorching heat. My colleagues have reported people, drinking contaminated water, having to wash clothes in water that they know is contaminated, on top of eating that, on top of that in systems that are not being adequately nourished. and the collapse of the health systems in terms of hospital bombings and not being functional for the past 9 to 12 months, you have a whole group of children that have been born in this period that have not had access to vaccines and no reliable ways to really even catch the disease or to catch the spread. I think the first case was just reported, but the UN was warning that this was on its way and had already been detected, started in sewage systems starting in July.
And how, given the conditions you've just described, how do health officials go about trying to deliver polio vaccinations? I mean, can you give us any sense of what it's like to try to carry that out in a war zone and as you say, where they've just recently been told to evacuate yet another time from one of the areas?
Yeah, UNICEF and the other UN agencies have a tough job ahead of them. And if anyone can do it, I know they can. But I think there are three main things that really impact this. Fuel and electricity have been scarce to non-existent in Gaza. This is a vaccine that requires a cold chain of storage, so that keeping these doses safe and effective. Second, and most importantly, is we have to have access to the people. So these UN officials are going to have security guarantees from Israel that these facilities will not be bombed or will not, that the people will be safe in these schools, which have been bombed before, to come and get these vaccines and have them available. And most importantly, we also, the UN is undergoing an intense public information campaign now, trying to give people awareness that the vaccine is here, who's eligible, but getting people to feel comfortable, to feel safe going to another location in the midst of a war zone, getting them to feel safe going to a location locations like that have been bombed or have not been safe. And also you're dealing with a population that has had to move several times. At this point, people are moving with nothing but the clothes on their backs. And in very depleted situations, it's going to be really tough. This is also a vaccine that requires 2 doses. So you're looking, you're looking for people to have to travel in unsafe, depleted conditions twice to make this work.
Tjada D'Oyen McKenna, Mercy Corps CEO, thank you so much for being with us.